Call of Duty. Call of Duty was once the staple of video games, an empire, and has risen and fallen just as quick off a very steep cliff. So in this podcast we're going to talk about the goods and the bads of Call of Duty, so mostly what's good about the old games and what's bad about the new games, and ways that they can improve it hopefully in the up-and-coming games such as Black Ops 5.
Yeah.
So first off, I'd like to talk about the leveling system. And I mean, we both have similar views on this, in terms of the way that a game like Black Ops 2 did the leveling system with having prestiges, whatever, prestige 1, prestige 2, prestige master. To me, it kind of felt like having that in the game made you psychologically feel like you were a better player than others.
I agree with that, yeah. You just felt like if you were a higher prestige than someone else, that you were like pretty much just better than them.
Yeah, because I sort of feel like in a game, say like Modern Warfare, because I've played enough of that to sort of understand the ins and outs of it. So having the ranks go to 155, and then after the end of the season, which of course ties in with the whole Battle Pass idea, and you reset back to rank 55, I feel like for me, the reason why I really went for Damascus camo is because having Damascus camo and getting all these guns gold and whatnot makes me feel like I have a superiority over these other players that play.
Yeah. I feel like another thing as well with the sort of prestige stuff is, yet again in Modern Warfare, there's no incentive to level up.
Yeah.
Like, if you're level 155, like, it actually doesn't mean anything. Whereas, like, I mean, World War II did it where they had prestiges, which was was nice and fresh. But even just looking back at like Black Ops 2 and games like that, so having that prestige was just something that rewarded you for playing. And also I feel like they just rewarded better. You always felt like every time you leveled up, you were getting something really good, like you were excited to level up. Whereas like now, you don't really care. It's just like you leveled up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's weird because it's not like a part of the actual gameplay itself, but it's something so subtle, but it's something that I feel like makes a difference to when you do games to games.
I also just miss like looking in the lobby and just seeing like the emblem of what prestige you were.
Yeah.
Like in Black Ops 2, even prestige 1, it was like a little green snake thing with like a black outline. Yeah. That even looked good. So, and like all the way up to prestige master, and like getting prestige master in that game was, first off, it looks so cool because you no longer had a rank next to your name, and it was like now, and even in like Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, they had like up to level 1000, which is like there's no point. Why are you even doing that?
Yeah. Alright, the next thing I'd like to talk about is the health system in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it felt like we had a lot more health. I mean, we definitely did. I feel like gunfights are more 50-50 rather than nowadays, in the last few years of Call of Duty. It feels like it only takes like 4 or 5 bullets to kill someone. And
yeah, a lot of gunfights feel a little bit more random as well.
Yeah.
Just because of that, like, when I agree with the point like that you had more health, because I swear, like obviously doing headshots does more damage, but I remember in like older games, if you shot them in a specific area, you would do more damage than you would in another area. I swear that was the thing. Like if you hit him,
in the legs, it would do way less. Yeah.
I swear that was the thing.
Yeah, I feel like that was much better. Just gave everyone an opportunity to win gunfights and actually. I feel like it helped with being better at the game, like getting better at skill wise and stuff like that. Where now it's quite skill based. If you're not on top of your reactions and whatnot to shooting people, you're gonna. I feel like
something else that didn't work was in Black Ops 4 when it was the healing yourself. I don't
Yeah.
feel like that really worked that well. Like in this game, you have like a stim, so you can heal yourself if you are damaged or whatever. But I don't think it was the best idea, especially just for like regular multiplayer, to have that added in.
Yeah.
I feel like with that game, they were just trying to get something in so that it was different.
Yeah.
Because there is a copy and paste almost of Black Ops 3. So they're just like, oh, let's add some sort of feature that makes it different. I swear that's like what it feels like.
Yeah, and it was really weird too. Like it was like you had to heal yourself manually. It wasn't automatic, which is just a strange way to go about it. But whatever.
Yeah, and like
Let's,
there was a weird like cool off as well in it as well. It's just like,
Yeah. I mean, let's hope they don't add that back in Black Ops 5. But yeah, we'll see. Alright, so next conversation is about the maps. Now, there's a lot of maps that I really like throughout Call of Duty history, and you know, they all followed the same sort of system of the 3-lane model, is what it's referred to. So when you spawn in, you'd have a middle section, a section to your left, and a section to the right, in which you go down, and you know that's where the battle would take you. Nowadays, it feels like there's so many maps that have like 10, 20, even just a massive open space with little corners and places you can go into that, you know, yeah. But there's so many places that you can get sniped from, or people
they've tried to open
meters
it up
and meters away.
way too much.
Yeah.
It's like there's a new map that was added into Modern Warfare. I don't remember what it's called.
Cheshire Peak.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
There is so many little windows and corners.
Yeah.
Especially when I know we play hardcore, but even in regular, you're normally going to get one-shotted at close range by a shotgun. When you've designed your maps where literally if you go around that corner, there's not enough room for you to be far away enough to not get one-shotted. So there could just be someone camping there like there is every single time, and just get one-shotted every single time.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned that with Cheshire Park, because I don't mind that map because it does follow the 3-lane aspect. But another issue I have with the maps is that there's way too many places you can get up too high where you don't expect people to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably my biggest flaw with Modern Warfare. I do like this game a lot more, especially than the games I've had in the past 6-7 years since Black Ops 2. But that's probably my biggest flaw with this game that's been different to all the others.
Yeah, I feel like with this game as well, I really like this game, but the map, like there's so many maps I don't like. And like, that's what like holds it back from being like one of my top Call of Duties, because you have to love not every map, but almost every map.
Yeah,
so like Black Ops 2, there's not a map
so
I don't
many good
like.
maps. Yeah.
Yeah, and even in Modern Warfare 3, there's not many maps that I don't like. So in this game, you know, there's only like a handful of maps that I like, and the rest, like I don't like when there's not a mode where, like right now, there's shoot the ship in. I like when that's in it, but then if we have to play regular, I'm like, oh, it's like not as good, because you're just gonna come up against a million different maps.
And like, it's no coincidence that our favourite maps in this game are Shoot House, Shipment. We like Gun Runner, which doesn't quite follow the 3-lane model fully, but it does have an aspect of that.
Yeah, some maps have like a distinct feel that's just like fun when you play it, like Gun Runner. So I'd say like Slums didn't really follow a 3-lane sort of model either, because that had quite a few open areas, but it was so much fun to play in.
I think the thing with Slums is that it had like different obstacles that were around the map that allowed you to be protected from guys on the other side of that area that was quite open. Whereas in this game, say again, like in a map like Piccadilly, in between the buses, like there's the fountain, say, but it's not big enough to cover you from all angles. Like there's like, you know, 7 or 8 angles that people can be in that you don't expect them. Like you're not going to look in every single angle when you're running past, but you're probably just going to die because of people sitting there. Slums doesn't have that, you know. I
feel like the other thing that older Call of Duty, and we keep referring back to Black Ops 2 because it is the greatest Call of Duty of all time, like by far.
Yeah.
There was so much diversity in the maps. So you had like slums, which was in like sort of like a slums, I guess, like a third country sort of rundown little town. Then you had Hijacked, which was on a boat. You had Raid, which is at like a mansion.
Yeah, you had Downhill, which is a snow map. Hydro, which is a water map.
You had
there was a lava map as well.
There was a lava map. There was a skate park. There was a water park. Train station. There were so many different things. Where I feel like in this game, for example, it's just like they're all at like a factory or something similar to that.
Yeah.
And they're all just like, they all feel the same, which is like, that's what I've noticed in this game. Like, we'll play it and I won't remember the names of any maps because they all feel the same, but the maps that I remember the name of are different.
Yeah. So next we're going to talk about the secondary aspects, which I'm referring to zombies, survival, extinction, things other than the multiplayer the multiplayer mode itself. I mean, Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 really, really good with zombies. Modern Warfare 3 had survival.
Incredible in those,
yeah. Just sort of, it felt like a different game when you were playing that. Like the multiplayer feels like what you buy Call of Duty for, and the zombies and the survival sort of feels like a separate game to the actual game. It's kind of a bit like with Modern Warfare, you've got Warzone. Which they've done really well with. Adds a different dimension to just running around a map, going in a lobby, killing people. You know, instead it's strategic and it's a really different feel. Yeah,
I mean, the zombies in those it's the same with when we were just talking about the maps. Each map was completely different as well, and there was so much to do. Everything just felt good, from every weapon to the maps to the sort of areas that you could train in, or to pack punching the weapons, or box locations. Everything felt really good, and I feel like I didn't play any Black Ops 4 if it had zombies. I don't remember if it did or not.
I think we played a couple of times, but not too much.
Black Ops 3 has Chronicles, so it doesn't really count for Black Ops 3 because there's not any content from that game. And then you had survival mode, which like I have so many fond memories playing. Even just the one of the first maps. Like I don't think I ever played through like the higher end maps. I just kept playing like the one in Paris, whatever it is.
Yeah, Resistance.
Resistance. But I think haven't really played any survival mode in this game. From the little I have, it doesn't. It just seems. It seems weird.
Different.
It's different in this.
Yeah.
You just get rushed instantly by like a million guys.
I think going back to zombies as well.
Yeah.
Black Ops 1 was, it was quite original. It's like it was just like sort of a starting base for it. Black Ops 2, they sort of extended that. I mean, you look at a map like Buried, where they had the giant dude, which could smash into the barriers. You had the chalk that you could draw guns on, and a couple of extra perks. The witch. So that was like a good step up, and it wasn't too over the top.
No, not
but
at all.
I feel like I played Black Ops 3 the other day, and Shadows of Evil is the one map that they have on there that comes with the game. And man, just playing it, it's so over the top. The map is way too big.
The one with you can become the monster?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's one aspect of it. But then there's also like flying bugs that come, sort of like a dog round, but there's flying bugs that come every 2 seconds.
Big monster that runs after you as well.
Yeah, then there's like 2 or 3 of them that come eventually. And like I said, the map is just way too big. Like I would never be able to remember my way around the map. And then with the monster, there's other little areas you have to go into that are hidden. And it's just insane, like the map, I don't know. Like I feel like they tried to go even further from Black Ops 2, but Black Ops 2 was probably about the limit they could have gone to not make it too over the top.
Yeah, I feel like that's what Treyarch has struggled with heading from Black Ops 3 to Black Ops 4, is that Black Ops 2 was so good that they had to find some way to push it forward, and every attempt for that was too much.
Yeah.
Like they just tried to add too many things in, and it just didn't work. I haven't played World War II Zombies. I do actually want to play that.
I didn't even know it had zombies.
Yeah, it does. So it was free on PlayStation Plus last month, I think. So I might download that and try them out.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm getting Chronicles as well, so we can play that as well.
Nice.
So the one area that I wanted to touch on was Extinction.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So I am, I'd say, an outlier in the fact that Ghost is one of my favorite Call of Duties. Like I actually love that game. But Extinction was, besides like wall running and like flying around, the worst thing that ever happened to Call of Duty. It's so bad. There's nothing good about it. That's all you can say about it. It's just not good at all.
Yeah, I mean, you say you love Ghost. I reckon I'd like Ghost more. I think I said this to you before. I reckon I'd like Ghost more if I played it now, after playing things like Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4.
It feels a lot like this game.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I didn't like Ghost that much, is because Black Ops 2 obviously was an amazing game, and then you played Ghost, which began sort of the trend of a few differences in what they've come to now. But it definitely wasn't as bad as it is, or not so much this year, but the previous years. So next, something that made Black Ops 3 and 4 specifically unbearable was the specialists.
Yep.
It's something that they've put in Modern Warfare this year, but it's known as a field upgrade now, and it's much better, much more improved.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, for anyone that's unfamiliar maybe with the specialists, virtually like the field upgrades in Modern Warfare, you would wait a certain amount of time, like 2 minutes, and then you would have selected like a person or a specialist, I guess, to have for that game, and then you would have like a special ability, like there'd be a dude with a minigun which would last for like a minute, or there'd be a guy that shot like fire arrows and a beehive. It was really weird ideas. Oh, there was that too, yeah. Tempest was that. Yeah, that was for me the worst part. I mean, other than the flying around the map, the worst part about Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4.
Oh yeah, it was just crap. Like, it felt so unnecessary as well. Like, especially, I don't remember if it was Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4. They had battery, and the only reason I used her was because in that game you had to be like level 50 something to get a grenade. So I used her so I could use a grenade before I was like max level.
Yeah.
So they also, none of them really felt good either. Like, you sort of just like, when we were playing it, and we didn't play a lot of those games, it was like, alright, we'll choose one because we have to, because you can't play that.
I feel like Black Ops 4, I remember at the start of it we were kind of enjoying it, but I think it was the specialists that drove us away from the game. I feel like if the specialists weren't in the game, it wouldn't have been that bad a game, in my opinion. Because it was the first year they got rid of the flying around the map. They brought back boots on the ground, which was a massive step in the right direction. But they still had stuff like that, which was just not great.
I think it was because I remember, and then we didn't play it for like pretty much this whole cycle, and then leading up to this game, Modern Warfare, we started playing it again.
Yeah.
And straight away it was already crap.
Yeah. And that was on 24/7 Nuketown as well. They have for like the last month, so...
Yeah, so if your game isn't fun on a 24/7 Nuketown, it's not
an issue. It's a massive issue.
Yeah.
So next, we're going to talk about the spawns in the games. A lot of people, or not a lot of people, but some people say that the spawns in Call of Duty have always been an issue, which I mean, yeah, I can see why maybe, but this definitely got a lot worse over the years. And I mean, I said, what was I talking about with Modern Warfare? Oh, it was the maps being, you can go up high in weird spots on the maps that made it the biggest flaw for Modern Warfare. I think the spawns is also another big flaw for Modern Warfare this year. I mean, on a map like Shipment, I can see why it's a bit hard to make it. You know, we play a lot of Shipment. But there's still a lot of times where you're spawning right next to where you died, and literally there's guys looking at where you're going to spawn. That shouldn't be a thing that happens in the game. Black Ops 2, and again, people say that the spawns have always been bad, but Black Ops 2, I feel like, never really had that. Maybe once every 100 respawns, I would die from being spawn killed. In this game, it's, I feel like, 10 of every 20 spawns is just a bad spawn.
I would say that's a pretty solid ratio. I feel like, thinking back on Black Ops 2, I can't remember ever thinking that the spawns were an issue. Whereas in this game, I mean, I know we play a lot of Shipment, but even in Shipment sometimes, like, it feels like they're just spawning you to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, a Shipment's a very small map, and there's not a lot of places to spawn, and it's meant to be a hectic, crazy map. But even on that map, sometimes you just spawn in the same spot like 5 times with the same guy just like looking at you. I feel like most games you get annoyed at least once or twice about a spawn death, or just a spawn in general. Whereas in those, like Black Ops 2 and in Modern Warfare 3 and stuff like that, I don't remember ever getting annoyed at the spawn.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday were playing Shoot House, and I remember specifically I died in a spot in Hardpoint, and I spawned in the same spot 3 times and got spawn killed every time before it decided to flip me to the other side of the map where we were actually spawning. So I don't know why, for whatever reason, I was spawning where they were the entire time, looking right where I was spawning. It's dumb. But it's just things like that. Like, that wouldn't happen in Black Ops 2. They wouldn't spawn you there 3 times in a row and let you die 3 times in a row. Maybe it happened once, but like I said, once, very rarely. Not enough to make you get angry and notice it, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the last thing that I want to discuss in this podcast is the money grabbing side of Call of Duty. It's something that, as of late, a lot of games, movies, you name it, have fallen into the trap of, well, not really a trap, it's probably everyone else falling into the trap of, you know, it's being all about the money and not about the game. Older Call of Duties, I mean, look at Black Ops 2, had DLCs, but they didn't force you to get those DLCs to enjoy the game, or they didn't, you know, shove it in your face to get them. Like, even, you look at the Zombies maps, I mean, we bought all 4 DLC packs, so we had all the multiplayer maps, all the Zombies maps, but even what they provided you in the start, they provided you with, was it 3 Zombies maps? Which...
For what? I think it was 3 in transit.
Yeah. So, you know, that's enough, I think, to, like, if you're not going to want to spend money on the game, that's enough to still enjoy the Zombies mode. I look at Black Ops 3, and which I know had Chronicles added to it. I don't know how many maps like they had maybe as part of a DLC, if any, but there was only 1 Zombies map that came with that game.
Yes.
Which was a sign that they wanted you to pay money if you wanted to play more maps, because you're not going to play 1 Zombies map and enjoy it for an entire year. You know, you're going to want 3, 4, and even that might not even last you.
I feel like it's yeah. It's I feel like even just talking about DLC, the hype for DLC is completely gone. Like in Black Ops 2, when they announced the DLC, you were literally waiting for that date to like get into the new stuff. Whereas now, I don't even know if they do them. I don't think that this has had any DLC. I don't know if Black Ops 4 or whatever did. This has like all the little packs. But especially Treyarch in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, with like, there was like the black market guy, and there was all this sort of stuff. It was just all about like, if you want, it's pretty much pay to win. If you wanted to be better at the game, but not actually like get better by playing it. Just buy freaking legendary weapons and whatever.
Yeah. And by this, of course, you mean Modern Warfare.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like any microtransaction in a game should be completely cosmetic. It shouldn't impact on, like, you shouldn't be able to buy a stronger weapon than someone who doesn't want to spend money on the game. That's like completely unfair. But Treyarch definitely fell in that trap, and that whole Black Ops 4 I feel like was just trying to rack up money, because I've said it many times before, as you have as well, that game feels so similar to Black Ops 3, like I don't even know the difference.
Yeah. And I mean, we speak about Treyarch now from the last couple of games they've made being money grabbers, and we really like Infinity Ward from what they've done for Modern Warfare, where they've had things like the Battle Pass and the store, but it's not shoving it in your face to get it. It's really, they make it an option for you, like Black Ops 2 did, you know, to maybe enjoy the game more. I don't know. We don't have the Battle Pass, but you know, that's for people that with it can decide. But then things like Warzone, they have released Warzone as a free-to-play, I believe without the rest of the game, obviously, because always you have to pay for the game. So, sort of like a Fortnite idea, where there's an actual game of Fortnite, which had like a campaign, a story, which I don't know how many people played that, but obviously the Battle Royale was bigger. It's sort of along those lines of allowing people to still play the game without having to pay for it, but then they're also having people play their game at the same time.
I feel like I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Another thing this game does really well is it has like all these packs and stuff, and oftentimes they do pop up saying like, oh, new packs in the store or whatever, but it never feels like it's forcing you, oh, you have to buy this.
Yeah.
Like, it just lets you know it's in there, and like people, I'm sure a lot of people buy these packs, and good on you, but it doesn't feel like you have to. And what I like as well, this game, I don't know if the blueprint system was in Black Ops 4, I know it wasn't in before that, but like in this, a pack, you can get a gun and get a legendary like blueprint for it, which just changes the way it looks and gives you different attachments, but it doesn't change, it's not a stronger version of the gun, so it is cosmetic, but it's like a different twist on it. So that's like done really, really well.
It's kind of weird what I'm about to say, but you mentioned before like there's no DLC for this this game, and you also mentioned that with Black Ops 2 you got excited for the DLC date because you know they've been adding stuff that you know you could try out that's new and fresh. This Modern Warfare has they just sort of update things and add things in freely, like maps, weapons, stuff like that, which I mean, it's not a bad thing obviously because it's free, but I feel like it sort of makes you lose that excitement for that. Those new things. I think I would prefer if I was to have to pay for the things that added in. I don't think I would, because Black Ops 2 was very different. I love that game, so I was willing to pay money for it. This game, I don't think I would pay money for those extra things that added in.
Yeah, I feel like they, on that point, I prefer a model where there's constant updates and constant stuff being added in, rather than like a big map pack or whatever, like every 4 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it just keeps the game fresh, constantly, and they're adding different variations of modes or new modes, or adding a map in for a certain time, or adding like a shoot the ship, which is like a couple of really good maps together. Just putting different things in constantly to keep it fresh, rather than just like the base game and then every couple months you get a DLC pack, so it feels fresh for like that period, and then it's rinse and repeat.
I think 2 with adding in things as quickly as they have been, I think it's probably helped the game, because with the way that Call of Duty's been going in the past 5, 6, 7 years, people are probably a lot quicker to jump off it if it's just the same old thing. So I think they've done a good job, don't get me wrong, Infinity Ward, and what they've done this year. So, I mean, yeah, let's just hope they can produce the next game they make. And we've got Black Ops 5 coming up in a couple of months.
Yep.
So we'll be looking forward to that. But that's all we've got for the podcast. So we'll wrap up here, and we thank you guys for listening. And
thank you very much.
yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.